What's the good word, Joe? It's your boy DKB here. So there's been some rumors circulating that our fourth-round rookie running back, Israel Abanikanda, could potentially be ready for a key role early on in his rookie season for the New York Jets. And this at a time where we've been seeing a lot of rumors swirl in and of itself about the New York Jets potentially still adding one or two major pieces to this offense, and the two primary names generally been DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver, and then Dalvin Cook, the running back. So I would argue that this may be more realistic than not. I think obviously you see the potential with how things have changed for running backs, where teams that love the value they can get from a day 3 pick that can put up 1,000+ yards, or they can serve a key role in the running game, or they have some kind of facet to them that they can replicate out on the field from college to the NFL, and they can do it at a pretty high level pretty quickly, right? I know a lot of people say it's one of the quickest transitions from college to the NFL that you can get. I've heard others argue that point, though, like Derrick Henry, among other prevalent running backs. So that is what it is. But Israel Abanikanda, he almost seamlessly replicates his home run threat that Breece Hall offers. Now, Breece Hall has definitely a lot more polish and consistency to his game than a guy like Israel Abanikanda. There's some things that he's going to need to definitely work out. But the fact that he can hit any hole in an instant, and like I mentioned before, the moment he gets to that second, third step, he's gone. He's shot out of a cannon. So you love that ability, right? I think Bam Knight is a Tyreek Hill level, speed demon and threat. But we've seen the fresh legs on what they did towards the end of the season last year, where he's definitely an above average, runner for his position. But between having the fresh legs and then, of course, still having that dynamic speed for what was going on late in the season, we've seen him produce some very, very strong games. I think Israel Abanikanda can definitely match, if not exceed that production that we've seen out of a guy like Bam Knight. And so I did a little bit of digging. I was interested in kind of how this running back room will potentially be utilized if we actually chose not to make any additional pieces to it and stick with what we have with Breece Hall, Izzy, Michael Carter, Bam Knight. We'll see if there's anything that can be done with undrafted free agent Travis Dye. But basically, historically, Hackett's offense has always favored a split load. In other words, to keep it simple, it's been a committee approach for the most part. There was only one single season where there was really an outlier, and that was in Jacksonville when he had Leonard Fournette in his rookie season. So take that for what it's worth. But this is interesting because I think this does put us into a situation where if the team actually does have this much of a belief in Israel Abanikanda to go out here and have a strong role early on, you're talking about avoiding having to sink money into this running back position, which can rack up injuries very quickly. Things can go downhill with the amount of hits that they need to take quite often. But it avoids having to, shell out unnecessary money for a guy like Dalvin Cook, a Leonard Fournette, or a Kareem Hunt at this position. So when we want to talk about these offensive splits, basically the average that I've seen, and I went back to 2013 when he first became a coordinator with the Buffalo Bills. The only years I excluded was 2015 when he wasn't coaching, and then, of course, his Green Bay tenure when he wasn't actually a play caller, and then his Denver tenure because we didn't get to see him for the entirety of the season. So interim coach coming in, obviously that skewed a lot of what was going to get done. But for Hackett's offenses, for the most part, his running back 1 has taken up 38% of the attempts. Running back 2 has taken up 28%. And then running backs 3 through however many they may have rotated due to injury, they've generally taken up 14%. So that leaves about 20% left, in which you see, the creativity part of the running game. You see the quarterback RPOs. You see the wide receivers getting involved in like jet sweeps and different things of that nature. So that's essentially what I think we can strongly expect here. Now, if Israel Abanikanda truly does become a running back 2 within this offense, and he takes over for Breece Hall until he can get back to full form, 28% during the kind of 5-year stretch that I put together for Nathaniel Hackett's offenses. He's had, I want to say that average is around 430-ish or so attempts a season. So for what that's worth, that's it's going to be a significant amount of plays for Israel Abanikanda, and I, for one, think he can definitely go out there and get the job done. Probably a 2-down back, and then you start sprinkling in Michael Carter. You start utilizing a guy like Bam Knight, but I don't know. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I did a scouting breakdown for him already, so I'll link that in here. But Israel Abanikanda, I mean, Joe Douglas keeps getting it done. He's finding ways, or at least providing the players and this coaching staff is finding ways to be able to get them out here on the field. So I'm impressed already. I know he's had a pretty decent OTAs from what I understand, but let me know what your thoughts are on our rookie and what he may be able to do in year one for us. And would you take him over signing one of the guys like Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, or Dalvin Cook? I'll catch you guys again. Peace.